Certainteed Restoration Millwork composite lumber is the ideal trim to use with Icon composite siding. If you will be installing Icon with standard trim boards for corners, install the boards first. Certainteed, however, highly recommends the use of pocketed accessories for speed, ease of installation, and aesthetics. Pocketed trim boards can be installed after the siding is installed. This simplifies application because Icon is rigid. So, installing the trim after the siding allows for planks to be more easily installed between obstacles. We will be using pocketed accessories for this installation. So, our first step will be to mark a chalk line for the position of the pocketed trim that will be added later. Begin the installation by striking a level line around the house. The starter strip should be installed, so the bottom is 3/4 of an inch up from the sheathing around the house. Be sure the starter is cut short. Leave room at the corners for the corner trim, along with a 1/4 inch gap. Nail the starter every 8 inches to 10 inches. Where starters join end to end, leave a 1/4 inch space for expansion. Next, install the first course, starting from either side of the wall. Insert the bottom return leg into the starter. Factory ends should butt tight against standard trim. Start nailing at one end of the plank at a stud, and continue working towards the other end. To maintain a level line, make sure the plank is seated into the starter strip. Icon composite siding incorporates the patented stud finder installation system, which is designed for accurate and secure installation. The indicator letters make it easy to locate studs and help ensure accuracy. Locate the first stud and fasten the siding to it. Notice which stud finder letter appears above the nail. Go to the next repeat of the letter to find the next stud. Finish nailing the panel every 16 inches. Note that adjacent panels may not use the same stud finder letter as your initial plank. Measure 16 inches from the last stud to determine the subsequent letter for the new plank. Make sure any field cuts on butting planks have been properly sealed. Then, butt planks together tightly and fasten. Flashing behind Icon at joints is not required unless required by your local code. Butt joints need to be fastened at a stud. Where field cut ends of Icon will be hidden in a pocket accessory, no sealing of the cut is necessary, as the end will be protected from UV light exposure. To ensure proper appearance, stagger joints a minimum of 32 inches as you move up the wall. Do not align the butt joints. For the best appearance, install 3 courses before repeating butt joints. Where Icon needs to be notched out to fit around a door or window, use a jigsaw to cut the needed openings, leaving an 1/8 inch clearance for where the trim will be installed. Make sure to seal the field cut edges before installing, if not using pocketed trim. For areas in which the nail hem has been removed, pre-drill, then nail where studs are located. Icon installs similarly over windows and doors. There are 4 ways to finish the top course of Icon. First, you can finish the top of the wall with a pocketed trim piece. To do so, rip cut the final course of siding to size and face fasten the plank using shims, as needed, to keep the siding from tipping back against the wall. Then, install the trim, such as Restoration Millwork J-Pocket trim boards, to cover the fasteners. Second, you can install a trim board with no pocket. Rip cut the top course of Icon, seal cut the edges. Install Icon butted up against the trim. Then paint the nail heads. The third way to finish the top of the wall is to use cornice receiver and cornice molding or finish board. Install the cornice receiver. Cut to width and seal the plank. Install. And snap in the cornice molding or finish board. Finally, a fourth option is to simply butt the siding right up against the soffit. Make sure your rip cut is straight. Seal the edges, then install. Use paint to touch up the nail heads. To finish the window, install the pocketed trim boards, covering the edges of icon siding. To finish the corners, simply cut the pocketed restoration millwork trim boards to length and install fastening every 8 to 12 inches.